A little bit about that video, so if you wonder why the heck I was dancing up there, it's been pretty well documented. It's been an unbelievable story, but I was on the road recruiting, and I was running back and forth between the Wisconsin State Tournament and the Kansas State Tournament, and I was stuck in car rentals for about 5 straight days. And that song, Happy by Pharrell, played literally every half an hour on the radio stations in the car. And it made me smile and put a smile on my face. And I'm brainstorming while I'm out on the road recruiting and going, I think we could do something fun for that. And it was at the time of the year that we thought we were going to get a postseason bid. And I said, we could put a video together to show how happy we are about being a postseason team and really sell it to recruits. So I got back off the road recruiting, walked in the office at 8 a.m. the next day and gathered my staff with me and said, here's my vision. I want to put together this video, and I want to show the community, I want to show recruits, I want to show everybody that's associated with our program how happy we are about making postseason, and we'll roll it out after it's announced that we've made the postseason WNIT. And I said, my vision is to go around the sample gates, go around some of the great places on campus and show how beautiful our campus is and just dance and have fun. And when I brought this up, I said, you know, I don't know if there's even anything to this. And they're like, Coach, you do realize that people are making videos dancing to this song. And I said, no, I had no idea. And I said, everyone's always got a better idea before me. I'm just a little behind, but it got me excited that it was it. So literally about 2 o'clock that afternoon, my office door swung open and part of my staff came in and said, all right, in about 90 seconds, the team's gonna dance into your office and you've gotta act surprised. And I said, well, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, Coach, for the last 6 hours, we've been running around all over the place dancing with our team. And I had no idea that they did that. And so lo and behold, we did the entire song dancing to Happy, and they started playing it obviously on all the social media sites, but it started playing at all our games and became a big hit. And I can't tell you how many people mention it and how much fun we had with it. And unfortunately, it was a terrible day out that day, so we didn't get the sample gates and we didn't get on campus, but man, we're in Cook Hall and Assembly Hall dancing everywhere. And if you haven't checked it out, you need to get on YouTube and check it out. We had a lot of fun, and it has gone a long way with recruits and families. So unfortunately, they picked out the 10-second snippet of me dancing, so I apologize for that. But it was a fantastic year this year. We're really, really fortunate. It was 1 year ago today that or 1 year ago that I was coming down here, and my twin boys asked me, now try to explain what you do tonight. And I said, well, we get to talk about the program and brag about the program, but also talk about what it's an honor to be around such great supporters of Indiana athletics. And we get to brag about how good football is and men's basketball and men's soccer, and we're just a small part. We're certainly bigger of something, you know, we're part of something bigger than ourselves. And they're like, and so I'm really excited to talk about, we've nearly last year doubled our win total. And as only family members could do, they look at you and they looked at me and said, you do know you still came in last place. And I said, okay, well, we're not going to tell the crowd that last year. And we're going to talk about our improvements and how we build a culture in a locker room, and our team had great chemistry, and we were bringing in great recruits, and we were all exciting. I said, the last thing I'm going to tell them is that we were still in last place. But and so they can make you humble in a hurry as your family. But now I'm really excited because what I looked at him and went out the door last year, and I said, and the last thing I'm going to tell them is that we graduated our 3 best players. So I came down here last year and talked about a lot of great things happening in the program, but there was a little uncertainty. We were coming off an 11-win season, but we were graduating our 3 best players. So there was low expectations on our program going into year 2, but we had a talented recruiting class coming in of 6 talented freshmen. And something remarkable happened in our locker room. We had something really transformed, that we had great chemistry. And in women's basketball, having a championship locker room, which I always talk about, is really, really important. We had great chemistry. But we had a bunch of seniors that had won only 27 games in their first 3 years, and they were hungry, and they were they wanted to leave their mark on Indiana. They wanted to leave their mark on the women's basketball program, but they knew that they didn't have the individual talent to do it alone, and that they needed the help from the freshman class. I did not have any juniors, and our sophomore class has been just decimated through chronic injuries. So our team was basically made up this year of 5 seniors and 6 freshmen. And the seniors really, really took the freshmen under their wing and told them that they wanted to have a special year and that they needed their help. So it was an interesting dynamic with a team dominated by seniors and freshmen on how close they got and how much chemistry we had. And it took off. And the freshmen didn't have to look over their shoulders because they were the best players in the program. And they could just play fearlessly and not know that they weren't supposed to win or the low expectations that were on them. So we never talked about wins. We never talked about a win total. And before you know it, we started out this season and we went undefeated in our non-conference, 13-0. And that's the first time in Indiana women's basketball that we've had an undefeated non-conference of 13 games. It gave us some momentum going into conference play, and right out of the gate we were playing Iowa, a nationally ranked team. And before you know it, we took that confidence in and we were 14-0 and upset Iowa. And that's when we got nationally ranked, the highest in program history. And we felt very, very good about our start, but we still talked about the process. We talked about the little things. We talked about having the best chemistry and being the hardest working team. And we didn't dwell on the wins and losses. And then the winter storm hit, one of the many that we had this year. And our Purdue game got canceled. And so we did not play our next Big Ten game for 10 days. And I think during those 10 days, we probably read more newspaper clippings than we needed to. And we probably thought that maybe started to think that we were a little bit better than what we were, and we got away from what was important. So we had a little bit of a roller coaster and a hiccup in conference play with a young team, but we really battled and scrapped and clawed, and that took us to the WNIT tournament where we won 3 straight games to advance what I call the Elite 8 in the WNIT, and ended with a very, very special year. Again, led by a senior class that was unheralded, had only won 27 games in their entire career, but they took those freshmen under their wing, and then a tremendous freshman class. And a little bit more about that freshman class. We had the most points scored by a combined freshman class in the entire Big Ten. In fact, that freshman class is in the top 5 in the nation in points scored by freshman classes around the country. So it was a very, very productive class. We were led by Laren Brooks, who was from Kentucky, and we stole out of Kentucky. So we're really excited about what kind of year. She rewrote the record books in her freshman year for women's basketball, scored 550 points in her freshman year, and was second team all-conference and a member of the Big East all-freshman team, and was just tremendous. But what happened with Laren is remarkable, because if you follow our program or ever watched us on the Big Ten Network or had the opportunity to see us in person, Laren is defined by a special hairdo. And she's got this incredible fro that most of the time is spray painted red. And she just is very recognizable. And I would say, probably other than a few men's basketball players, because football guys play with helmets on, she became the most recognized athlete at all of Indiana University. And for a young woman athlete to do that is remarkable as a freshman, but in a great university like Indiana, in the tradition of all the successful teams, what she did to energize athletics in Indiana was remarkable, and we're really excited about Laren Brooks and what could happen with her career over the last 3 years. So we fast forward into this coming year. I encourage you guys we have 17 home games. Some of the best fans are in here. I talk to fans that regularly come up from this area of the state or even Kentucky that follow us very, very closely, and I genuinely appreciate all that support. But I encourage you to come up. We have 17 games. And we're excited and cautiously optimistic going into next year. We will not have a senior scholarship player on our team. Our junior class has 3 members in it, but they're role players and all fighting back from chronic history of injuries. So our production is going to be freshmen and sophomores. So we're going to be tremendously young, but we have a very highly heralded freshman class that I can finally talk about. And the headliner is obviously Tyra Buss. And she's Miss Basketball 2 years in a row in Illinois, is the all-time leading scorer in the state history, and second nationally in the history of girls basketball in high school scoring. She's a tremendous scorer. She's a little tiny point guard that I think probably with quarters in her pockets weighs about 120 pounds. But she's got the heart, you know, as big as this stage up here. She's just a tremendous competitor. We're really excited. The other 3 athletes in our freshman class were all runners-up to Miss Basketball in Michigan, in Indiana, and Ohio. And so we're really excited about our incoming class. They can really shoot the ball. And Dawn and Jeremy Gray asked me, what is the Curt Miller team going to look like after a few years? And I said, one of the things that it's going to look like is we're going to be able to shoot the ball. And we're going to handle the ball. And I believe in guard play, and I believe in fundamental basketball. And when I inherited the team, we had made 103 threes, 103. Last year, we broke all the three-point shooting records at Indiana and had the second best Big Ten three-point year in the history of the Big Ten. And we made over 260 threes. And I'm telling you, our 4 incoming freshmen can really, really shoot it. And so I'm excited that we're going to be a little bit live and die by the 3 this year, but we can really handle the ball, and we're guard heavy, and we can really shoot it. But isn't that what Indiana basketball should be about, is shooters and fundamental basketball, is what I think everybody comes to expect, and that's what our team's going to look like. So we're really, really excited. I'm honored to be a part. I feel like with baseball on most of our minds right now, with the tremendous season that Tracy Smith had with IU basketball, IU baseball, I believe I'm the leadoff hitter full of a lot of heavy hitters coming behind me, and I can't wait for you guys to hear from both football, men's basketball, and men's soccer, because it's an honor to be able to call them friends, but work alongside them because they're the best of the best, and to watch their work ethic and what they build is truly special. So go IU.